regarding benzodiazepine, it's a hot question only in freediving community, and the freediving community raised that question, and I mean there are some reasons for that, but in general there is no justification from the medical and anti-doping point of view. So benzodiazepines are they have black box in especially in the United States. I'm sorry that in Serbia we don't have that black box, because black box means something that something is dangerous. But what we have all, there are no country in the world without this triangle when we speak about benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines means that the guys could not drive the car or not work with very, how to say, sensitive machines, especially in the situation when they could hurt somebody. So somehow that is there is a warning sign, and that is a warning sign is illegal. It's obligatory. It's not a question is somebody is going to put that or not. And then there are many reasons, and you have so many sites where it's written why benzodiazepines are not good idea when you are driving. And for the same reason, benzodiazepines are not good idea when you are going to free diving. And I asked my friend Jason Statham about that, and he told me these five things. I mean, actually, in free diving, it's necessary that you are conscious, that you are ready, your muscles are ready, that you are steady, and that you don't have impaired vision or impaired thinking. So somehow, why, for God's sake, somebody will use something like that with the idea to dope himself or herself? There are no paper. If there is a paper, maybe you could share with us your knowledge, but there is no paper about benzodiazepines in sport except this paper. And this paper is done by my colleague Emin Ergen from Turkey. He was in that moment in medical commission of archery, and he is asked by archers to test if benzodiazepines are helping or not, because it was a great pressure, like in free diving. I mean, because they thought that the guys who are taking benzodiazepines are better archers. And what he found this. He found nothing. There is no difference between the guys who are taking benzodiazepines and not taking benzodiazepines. And then the rumor and everything is stopped. So somehow, if you like to prove something, you need to do some kind of research, even to find in the literature the way how the benzodiazepines could potentially, improve the sport performance of somebody, and it could be used for a doping. But benzodiazepines in free diving has now a pretty nice history. And this is something which is actually a surprise for everybody, especially the guys from WADA, because they haven't been informed that something like that is happening. We are the one who informed them. So somehow introduce of benzodiazepines are done by social networks. And you have in social networks so many different kind of, posts where the guys are claiming that benzos are doping, and they are not. And one of the articles which I will discuss later as well, it's the article done by Kristina Zvaric, yeah? She did an excellent job. So if you're not familiar with the field, please read those 4 articles, and many of those things will be more clear to you. The case which opened this question, and which put the benzos on the table, is the Vertical Blue case. And Vertical Blue case is interesting because a local organizer gave himself a right to do doping control and to do police research without legal, warrant for that, without, involvement of the people who are doing that professionally. So what they found, they published on an illegal way, and what they did doping control, which nobody didn't ask except the local organizer. Actually, that's the first time I heard that local organizer is doing doping control, and there is no way that any local organizer on the world level could have anti-doping rules. That something like that doesn't exist. That means that, we could here introduce some doping rules which are Dahab doping rules. That doesn't exist. So somehow they've got some information, and because of that, 2 divers have been treated by ethical code. Since ethics is, let's say, my special interest in almost a specialization, and I published several papers about that. This is a problem. You could not use code of ethics to punish somebody because he's a potentially doping positive. You could punish him for something else, but not for not used by code of ethics. The additional problem is that those guys have been punished more seriously than they would be punished for a doping offense, because they have been punished 6 months and 5,000 euros each, and they have been punished by code of ethics by prosecutors which are coming from the same country, which is totally unusual for international federation. International federation usually they are using judges or referees in this kind of case from different countries. And then we challenge that. The key word here is safeguarding. Who is safeguarding the athlete now? What the athlete could do now, they could do nothing. They have been punished, they have spent a lot of money for the lawyers, and they could not do nothing. They could go to Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. And because of that, with my colleague from Zagreb, we will publish this paper very soon. Currently, it is in progress. And somebody who did a real good job is this lady. And as you could see here, she asked for a meaningful discussion. She asked for discussion without emotions, accusations, etc., etc. He asked something which is important, that we are not using anecdotes and gossip, and that we don't use something what we think that is happening, but something which we could prove. And finally, we need to respect the protocols. Why we have protocols if we don't respect them? Then something happened which nobody didn't expect. We've got a technical document which is not anti-doping, but in reality it's 100% doping, and which is done to impose sanctions on the guys from freediving who are using benzodiazepines. And in spite it's written, it's a technical document, you could read anti-doping document, but that is not possible because all the list, prohibited substances and everything is happening by consensus of all countries on the world, of all international federations on the world. And there is just one organization who could do that, it's called World Anti-Doping Agency. So somehow this is kind of, how to say, way to put something which is not legal. And that technical document is doing something which is a copy-paste. We have doping control officers. Here we've got BEPCO officers. We have doping control station. Here we got BEP control station, etc., etc. That's something which, somebody didn't even try to do a good copy-paste job. And what is the harsh part of this document is the punishment. Somebody decided that a freediver who is a doping positive on benzodiazepine should be punished up to 4 years, which is totally ridiculous. And that is not my opinion, that is opinion of everybody, including the WADA CEO. So somehow, where is the problem also? What is important for you as a freediver to understand, to recognize, to distinguish? We are doing, as Maria told you, we are doing A and B sample. And here there is just one stripe. There is no B sample. So you could not prove that you are not doping positive, which is actually a bad thing, because if you are going to be punished 4 years, 4 years in life of anybody is too much. So somehow, how you will prove that you are not doping positive? And the other reasons which are here, why we have just 30 laboratories? Because laboratories could not be established just like that. I'm coming from the country where people like to establish laboratory, but they failed because laboratory is really state-of-the-art knowledge and state-of-the-art, how to say, biochemistry. So just certain countries has laboratories. You could not do doping tests with stripes because that is simply ridiculous. Why is that? Because the stripe has false positive and false negative result. In this case, we have 5% false positive result. So I could be positive and I could be potentially punished, but I didn't take benzodiazepines. Or I took benzodiazepines, but my stripe is negative. In 30%, 1/3 of everybody who are tested. So somehow this is not really a proven method. Why it's not proven? Because it was done very fast, without, how to say, checking everything. Even the police, I took one of the most serious police probably, in British police. I mean, they could not punish somebody if they don't confirm the test in laboratory. So stripe is something which they check if there's somebody suspicious. But in order to punish him, he need to be, tested in laboratory, and then there is a process in the court, and it's not 4 years. What did some of international federations? I could tell you it's kind of a good practice. It's not good practice. Whenever international federation is doing something which others are not doing, I mean, it's not good, because the reason why doping is good is because it's universal, it's harmonized. It's harmonized even in the countries where it's the war. It's harmonized everywhere. So somehow it's not good that somebody is more wise than others. But in UCI case, in cycling, they believe that they have big problem, and they have big problem with tramadol. But they did it on the way that they did the test, and if somebody is positive, they prevent him to compete, like stop to compete. No start, and that seems to look like it's fair, but the problem is that they did it on the way they put that tramadol on monitoring list. Then we tested all the athletes through several years, and we found out that the problem is not only present in cycling, it's present in biking, it's in football, in basketball, everywhere. So somehow we have practically every third person who is taking tramadol, because tramadol is a very strong painkiller. And what normal people who are not training don't understand, that athletes feel the pain. Everybody who is training 2 times per week feel the pain. There is no person who is not in that situation. So somehow they found out that tramadol is misused, and because of that, from this year, from 1st of January this year, tramadol is forbidden in competition. So that is the way how one substance is going to the list, not by, decision of 1 or 2 people. And is this tackled first time by these cases which happen after the vertical blue case? It's not. This is AIDA medical screening self-declaration, and it's done many, many years ago. And what is written here in this corner, it's here. So what is written here? It's written that there is a relative contraindication. What does it mean, relative? Relative means that I could compete, or I could not compete, depend of my, situation, and I need to consult my doctor, probably to make it aware the doctor of the competition, because I am somehow a problem. If I could have panic attack, if I could stop breathing, if I could have any problem under the water, the safety guys should know that, because I will, act differently. So somehow, this is the rules which already exist, and one of the things which I will repeat is that we need to at least respect something which we already have it, because then we wouldn't have any problem like we have it right now. And then we decided to do something which is normal. We decided to do the project, and then we tested all the samples from this year in the laboratory for benzodiazepines. And we have results for 28 samples, and there is one positive result of the person who is taking the drug by medical prescription. So for me, that is clear, and that person has right until the moment when the society of anti-doping, when the community of anti-doping decide differently. So that project is something which we will continue, I suppose so, because actually this is normal. This is the only way to be on a safe side. Maria showed you this site. So you see those drugs. Freedivers sent to us a TUE request, therapeutic use request. And they ask us to get TUE for these substances. But these substances are not on the list. So they could use it freely without any problem. Those substances are stimulants for ADHD, and they could not use that normally. This is diuretic. This person used it for hypertension, but we convinced him that he could not use because there is another alternative. So somehow some kind of communication is necessary, like I said to Olga, that it was in her case also necessary. And benzodiazepines, our project is going in a second phase, which is totally surprise for me, because actually WADA was not enthusiastic about it at all. But then we've got letter that we are going to the second phase, and we just, I mean, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, we sent that to WADA, and we expect some kind of answer until the end of the year. Probably we have 50-50 chance, but at least that's the way how you could inform somebody on a normal way without, how to say, raising any hectic atmosphere. So what Christina said, that we should have meaningful discussion. Meaningful discussion means arguments. So what does it mean, meaningful discussion through social media? Or to absent of threats, emotions, and wild accusations. So no accusation, because either we have some, how to say, argument or not. The same is with anecdote and gossip. And finally, what we are doing in medicine, what you listen from the beginning of this conference, is evidence-based. So there are some papers, and the guys, the professor showed you how they've got results. So you could discuss that, or you could agree or not, but finally something is published. And at the end, I think that we really need to respect our rules and protocols, because without that, I mean, we are nothing. We are doing certain documents, jobs, etc., and finally, we are still under the question mark regarding something. In this case, I think it's very easy. This case is like in AIDA screening material. Benzodiazepines are relative contraindication, and should be, how to say, discussed internally with the person who is dealing with that, and medical doctor of the competition, and her private, or his and her private medical doctor.
With the benzodiazepines, and the reason why it would be interesting to take them for doping reasons would be the resilience building, I guess. So for an athlete with a weaker mental game, taking this drug would reduce stress or anxiety. So this is what could be enhanced.
And make you sleepy, and impair your cognition, impair your sight, and
everything.
So
this is what I'm getting at. So, would it, because it's anxiolytics are used in populations, and there are of course contraindications that include horrific nightmares and increase in heart rate, drowsiness. Exactly. So wouldn't it just, because people...
So why would you use it, I mean?
Yeah, exactly, because people keep thinking about going down, right? If the use of this could improve the descent, for example, the quality of relaxation. But an athlete also has to...
Yesterday we had some recording, and I will mention to you something which is really important to know. I don't know from which country you are. Neither you. Okay, I am from Serbia, and in Serbia there is 6.5 million people, 6.5. Those people are taking in 1 year 22.5 million boxes, not tablets, boxes. So since there are some Serbians here, we didn't took any box in 2023. So somebody took our boxes. I mean, people are eating benzodiazepines. They are not consuming like a drug. They are eating. And the problem is a medical, how to say, attitude towards that. Because my colleagues, my first specialization in internal medicine, my colleagues are treating everybody with hypertension with benzodiazepine. Because poor guy, he's under the stress. And what we could do, we are giving him benzodiazepines. And that guy doesn't want to stop that because it's nice. And I had a guy from Ministry of Health in Serbia who understand everything, but he told me I could not go to job without benzodiazepine because I could not survive 8 hours.
But in the previous presentation, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Maria. She said that it could also be excluded if it presents a threat to the person. So it could also be excluded not because of enhancing performance, but because it presents.
Yeah.
It
could be what she said, that there are 3 reasons for any anti-doping substance, and practically all the substances fulfilling those 3 reasons The only one who is not doing that is marijuana, which is actually Jacques Rogge idea that marijuana should not be really connected with athletes, and it's not nice that you see the athletes who are doing high performance results and smoking marijuana after that. But athletes are doing that because of the pain again. But they are not doing because of THC, they are doing because of cannabidiol. And because of that, CBD industry is now booming. Now we have so many pharmacies in every country who are producing CBD in solution, so you could use it, but without THC. So no psychogenic effect, just harmonization of the body, anti-pain relief effect, etc., etc.
And the dose is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, yes. Like Professor Balestra said, the dosage with CBD is difficult because there are a lot of pharmacies, and since they are doing kind of extraction of, and they are doing oil, like with olive oil, you don't know which one is the best. Is it Italian, Spanish, Greek, or etc. Of course, Italian. Yeah.
In practical terms, it's complicated for athletes because it's apparently not a problem in AIDA competitions, but it is a problem in CMS competitions. So one same athlete.
Because it is contraindicated and it should be, if you are taking it, it should be declared in your medical certificate. And you also have the responsibility to inform about it competition doctor and safeties. So they know what they are facing.
Nenad, you pass the microphone. Can you point us?
With regards why benzodiazepines in the list of related, sorry, by the end of the day, difficult to talk, in the list of relative contraindication, because if a person, if a freediver takes benzodiazepines, it could be administered because of some condition. It could be dangerous for practicing freediving. It's just sign. Maybe this person has some troubles, has some health problems. So in this case, we, like Nenad said, ask they to contact their physician to be sure that his or her condition, the benzodiazepines will administered for, is not contraindication for freediving.
Yeah, that's all. What President said, just it's important that you, how to say, inform the organization where you are competing, because that is your best interest. It is the best interest that with medical screening, self-assessment, you, how to say, to put everything what you're using, because it's so normal. I mean, in not only in this sport, in every sport. So somehow there are the rules. We respect the rules, and with that. What I'm teaching, how to say, my diabetic patients, that the whole team need to know that the person is diabetic because he could have hypoglycemia. What I'm teaching the guys who have asthma, the whole team, especially in diving, the people need to know that somebody has asthma, because asthma could attack the person in the water, and then people need to react. So somehow all those situations need to be known to the people around the person who is training or who is competing, but it's not forbidden, and that is the difference, the big difference.
This is for many medicines, because most of the time people just sign they don't have anything.
Yeah, but in this...
So that's a problem of all the medicine in terms of auto-declaration.
Yeah, with all the medicine, but everybody knows which medicine is taking. So there is no person in this room who is not taking at least one supplement. I suppose so. Otherwise, if you're not taking vitamin D, you are in problem. So just start from today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.